Welcome, Shama. Good evening. Welcome, Divine, Chiomba, Doodle. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Please like the live and share it. Funza, welcome. Chris, welcome. Yes, welcome. Luvos, welcome. Let's share the live. Let's like the live. Farida, welcome. Let's like the live and let's share it. Fernando, welcome. Good evening, Shamea. Kalito, welcome. Thank you. Please tell us where you're watching from. Good evening, Sifiso, Riamukhetsi, Junction, Lead 52. Good evening, Zakaria, user 9711. To me, Martha, welcome. I hope you're well. Wilson, good evening from Kenya. Shamia, Uganda. Where are you watching us from? Tap the screen and share the live. Tap the screen and share the live. Olive, welcome. Tell us where are you watching from. Brenda, David, Peter, welcome, good people. We are talking about how to master the research problem. The real Dunisani, South Africa. South Africa is in the house. Ghana in the house. Yes, welcome. Lead 52, South Africa. Tariro, South Africa. Chiombai, Kenyan in Japan. Japan is in the house. You're welcome. Hello, Prof. That's David. David says, watching from Nairobi, Kenya. Nairobi, Kenya is in the house. Seviso, South Africa. Those who are in South Africa, please tell us where in South Africa you are. User 971154, you got the #1 gifter badge. Thank you so much. God bless you. Let's keep on tapping the screen. Shamia got the #2 gifter badge. Thank you, good people. David got #3 gifter badge. Luvos, #3 gifter badge. Tariro is in Pretoria. Thank you, Tariro. And yet, watching from Nigeria. Which part of Nigeria are you? Bushbuck Bridge. To me, thank you. Sfiso, Mpumalanga province. Thank you very much. Let's tap the screen, share the live. Let's invite more people. Tap the screen, share the live. Anieti, Lagos. How is Lagos today? Joe Munene, welcome. Where are you watching us from? Nala, where are you watching us from? Namiza, KZN, Kosi Bay. Okay, great. Esme, Pay Rizik, thanks. Ek from SSD. Okay, SSD. What is SSD? I'm watching from Mombasa, Kenya. Joe, thank you, Joe. Good people, tap the screen, like the live, share the live. Tebza, RSA. Which part of RSA? Yvonne, welcome. Ref C, welcome. We are talking about the research problem. Moss, the adventurer. Good evening, my academic mentor from South Africa, Cape Town. Thank you, Moss. How is Cape Town today? I hope it's not raining, eh? Oh, Pay Rizik is in South Sudan. South Sudan. All right. How is South Sudan today? Thank you. Kofi from Ghana. How is Ghana? Gauteng province in Tebza. How is Gauteng province today? Let's tap the screen, share the live. 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 We want more people to join us. If possible, we just want to do 1 hour. 1 hour. 1 hour. Bonnie, share the live. Thank you, Bonnie, for sharing the live. 9974, Uganda is in the house. How is Uganda today? Ragini, thank you for joining. Captain Mula joined. Thank you. Mohau Muloi, thank you for joining. Where are you guys watching us from? God bless you. Blashara is in Kenya. Olive is in Swaziland. How is Eswatini today? Munyani, where are you watching us from? SSK Kenya. Chris Query, Ninja joined. Welcome, welcome, good people. Let's tap the screen and share the live. Theo is in Botswana. How is Botswana today? Lago Emmanuel, Kenya. All right, Uganda is good. That's good to hear. South Africa. Let's tap the screen and share the live. To me, thank you for the rose. God bless you. Ruta is in Ethiopia. How is Ethiopia today? Are you in Addis Ababa? Shamia got the #1 gifter badge. Maite, Pretoria. How is Pretoria today? Good. We'll be starting shortly. We want to talk about, okay, Lutendo is in Pretoria, North, South Africa. Beautiful. Okay, Haptish, thank you for joining. Where are you watching us from? McDonald, where are you watching us from? Rev C is watching from Pretoria. We want to talk about how to master the research problem. Ria Mokhetsi is in Krugersdorp. How is Krugersdorp today? Ruta says no, somewhere in Ethiopia, Sudan border. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Ken, welcome. Welcome. Moses, you have just joined. Welcome, Mr. X, welcome. Welcome. Ken, thank you for the rose. God bless you. Delina just joined. Where are you watching us from, good people? Tap the screen and share the live. 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 Pumbra, welcome. Lord Amyo, welcome. Alfredo, welcome. Lazarus, welcome. Where are you guys watching us from? Please tap the screen and share the live. We are about to start talking about Protea Glen, Mrs. Matamela. Okay. Oba of Abuja is in Abuja, Nigeria. How is Abuja today? I have not been to Abuja. I heard that is a very clean city. Madei, hi from South Africa, Eastern Cape. Oh, great. How is Eastern Cape today? Valdesia from Limpopo. Okay, Valdesia, Limpopo. That's Lazarus. How is Limpopo today? God's favorite St. Helena Island, south of Atlantic. Interesting. How is it there? Walter, the teacher, Orkney, Northwest. Oh, Northwest. Nice. Black Dot watching from Zambia. Which part of Zambia are you? And how is Zambia today? Watching from Joburg. How is Joburg? I know Joburg can be colder than Pitori. Ben is watching from Cameroon. How is Cameroon? Namibia, Konjeni. Miss Miji, thank you for the rose. God bless you. Thank you for the rose. You are now the #1 gifter badge. Okay. Beautiful. Let's tap the screen and share the live. Tap the screen, share the live, tap the screen, share the live, tap the screen, share the live so that more people can join us. It's more interesting when we have more people in the house. We are on 107 right now. We can be much more than this. Beautiful. Tap the screen, share the live, tap the screen, share the live, tap the screen, share the live. Tap the screen. God's Generals is in Zimbabwe. Which part of Zimbabwe are you watching from? How is Zimbabwe today? Mama V just joined. Welcome. Senga, welcome. John, welcome. How are you, Mama V? Phantom, welcome. John is watching us from Kenya. How is Kenya today? Beautiful. Dinilo, welcome. Basika, welcome. Wow, thank you, Mama V, for the heart me. God bless you. Much appreciated. Nikki, welcome. Koread, welcome. Neil, welcome. Samkelo, welcome. Comrade D, welcome. From Soweto. How is Soweto today? Nira K, Playmaker, where are you watching us from? Tap the screen, share the live. Tap the screen, share the live. We'll be starting in the next 4 minutes. John says Kenya is fine. We are still mourning the death of Honorable Raila Omolo Odinga. I'm so sorry on the loss of the son of the African soil. May the Lord comfort you, and may the Lord comfort Kenya and Africa. Bali, welcome. I joined from Kiasend, Randburg. How is Randburg today? Tsepo, welcome. Patisani, welcome. Simiso, welcome. Abidons, welcome. Where are you guys watching us from? Mavs, Tando, where are you watching us from? Watching from Vietnam, Da Nang. That's Dinilo. Good to hear that. How is Vietnam today? Buitumelo is in Soweto, Jabavu. How is Soweto? Thank you for coming through. Patisani says, hi, Doc, joining from the UK. How is the UK today, Patisani? Which part of the UK are you? Thank you. Lord Silver Ray. You're welcome. Tepo, Soshanguve. How is Soshanguve today? Crazy. Welcome. Anel, welcome. Babideki, welcome. We'll start in 2 minutes. How to master the research problem. Tapelo, you're welcome. Bet Bongs, welcome. Sister Kamen, Jason from Pretoria. Good to hear. Nom Tandazo, where are you watching us from? Nogopila, where are you watching us from? Patisani says, very cold. I'm in Birmingham. Okay, I've not been to Birmingham. I've been to Derby, Sheffield, and which other place? Okay, very cold. My God, here is very hot, ne? Flavian from the city of Dischan, Cameroon. Okay, that's good to hear. I'm in Mombasa, Kenya. Weche, thank you. Thank you very much. Tap the screen, share the live. Kosi, final year MBA. That's beautiful, man. How does it feel to be final year? Ndlovu, is TUT a good institution to register a master's? Interesting question. It depends, man. TUT is a big institution. So I think if anybody can say TUT is a good institution to register a master's or is not good, that person will not be doing justice. It's important to know which department, which faculty. But what I know is that TUT is one of the top institutions in the country. I think they are in the top 12 out of 26 public universities in the country, which I think is a good achievement. That's what I can say for now. Son of Camel Header from Kenya. Balintle, Johannesburg. Johannesburg, compare. No. David, finalizing my MSc in Agricultural Resources Management, Department of Agriculture in Kenya. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Metropolitan International University, Shamia. Good to hear. Thank you. Tap the screen, share the live. Tap the screen, share the live. Tap the screen, share the live. Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are watching us from, we are grateful to have you, our future doctors. Is that a good assumption that everybody here is a future doctor? Or some just want to end with honors or undergrad or masters, which is still fine, eh? Thank you so much for joining. I don't take you for granted. It's always a privilege to serve. And imagine if I come live and nobody joins. That can be disheartening, isn't it? So yeah, we are talking about the research problem. We are talking about the research problem, and as usual, I will have a bit of my notes so that I normally love to give some stories, give some examples that are practical so that we don't just sound like we are in a lecture room and it can be boring, just to talk theory. But if we mix with examples and stuff like that, that will be amazing. Balintle says, busy with edits for my master's. It has been assessed. Wow. Congratulations. You are doing well. You are doing well. You are doing well. I will also be glad if I can have some people joining me on the panel as we go. If I can have some people joining me on the panel, that will be fantabulous. But for now, let's just start. Mfoka says, currently doing my master's at UJ while being an high school educator. The goal is lecturing. Wow, it's beautiful. If you know my story, you know that I was a teacher, a secondary school teacher for 8 years. I was a secondary school teacher for 8 years, and then I became a consultant in industry and a corporate trainer, running my little businesses here and there. Then I became a lecturer. It has been slightly over 12 years now as a lecturer. So if you are a high school teacher and you want to become a lecturer, it's very possible. Okay, good. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. And I love teachers because we have all come out of the hands of teachers. Good, 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 good. Let's get going. So what is a research problem? What is a research problem? Let's type in the comment section. At HR, greetings. You are leading in saving generation. Keep it up. Thank you for the kind comments. I appreciate. Flavian says trilingual studies, English, French, Spanish. Wow, you are powerful. Masters, one Hispanic and Iberic studies, Cameroon. English, French, Spanish. Powerful. Still struggling with my research proposal for my honors at Stellenbosch University. Dolly, okay, don't worry. That's why we are there. We'll support you. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to struggle with the research proposal. You can, let's hope you will benefit from the live, although it would not be personal. So we are generalizing here. But if you want more personalized help, you can DM me or send me a WhatsApp and we'll be able to assist you. Yes, it says, with what I have learned from here, I'm defending my PhD thesis next week. Guys, are you happy? Are you guys? Yes, is defending next week, and we wish you well, eh? God bless you. Race says, waiting for my chapter 2 comments from my supervisors. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. May it come with speed. All right. Sefiso says, waiting for my second mark, master's in inclusive education, currently a principal. The goal is lecturing. That's good. It's doable, Sefiso. It's very doable. It's very doable, and wishing you speed with the second mark coming. Patisani, a problem could be the gap between what is supposed to be and what is happening. Thank you. A research problem could be the gap between what is supposed to be and what is happening. Others, what do you think a research problem is? Son of Camel Header says, the problem of affecting larger population. The problem, where did I get off? Who gave me off? The problem affecting larger population, and there is no solution on site that calls for a study. Thank you, son of Camel Header. Tapelo says research problem is a problem to be solved or identified in the research. Thank you. Nana says, how do you write chapter 3 after implementation and getting results? Okay, unfortunately that one is outside the scope of what we are discussing today, so I will not be able to answer it. But if you find a way to ask it on the channel, or maybe if you DM me, we'll be able to answer that one. Hello, Doc. Lizibo here. How are you, Lizibo? Black Dad, doing Masters of Science in Chemistry of Education, struggling with research title. Okay, you're struggling with research title. Again, that's outside the scope of what we are doing today, but If you DM me, I'll be able to assist you. Venu, I'm defending my research proposal at master's level, and my goal is to be a prominent lecturer at UR. Beautiful stuff. May it happen as you desire. It can be practical or academic. Okay, thank you. Alexia's doing Masters of Arts Geography, doing research proposal. That's good to hear. What's the simple way to do literature review? Okay, I've done a number of videos that talk about that. I also have a digital product that teaches how to write a literature review. Unfortunately, we won't be able to answer it because today we are talking about the research problem. So you can DM me or you can watch the videos that we have already put on the channel. Thank you for the questions. Nolo, research problem is a gap in knowledge. Okay, thank you, Nolo. And yet, a research problem is an unresolved issue in a field of study. Thank you. Lord Silver Ray, an issue of concern affecting a population that requires immediate intervention through research. Fandabulous. I'm loving the responses, man. John says, can one become a lecturer in education after doing masters in educational leadership and policy? Yes, it's possible. But in most countries, you will start off as a junior lecturer until you have a PhD. It just depends. So I just answered in general. It depends on the country where you are and whether it's a private university or public university. Good stuff. Thank you for your responses. So, simply put, a research problem is the gap between what we currently know and what we need to know. I hope you have your pen and your notepad. I hope you tried to capture some of the responses that others gave. You will see that my definition here is not very different from what others were saying. Research problem is a problem the researcher is trying to solve based on past researchers. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Black that. So my definition is research problem. Okay, the real Dunisani says research problem refers to an issue or problem that leads to the need for a study, according to Creswell 2014. We need to celebrate, guys. We are with the scholars here. People are already excited. Yay! Beautiful stuff. I'm very happy. Guess what? We are scholars. Now, I'm not saying those who didn't cite didn't do well, okay? But I'm saying, you see, when you cite, you're going another level. I have seen some people, when people send me their slides and they say, I'm going to be defending my proposal, or I'm going to be defending my dissertation, please, Doc, can you review my slides? One of the things that I've seen is that you find somebody writes the background or the literature section, they write the research problem, and there are no citations. So the research problem is supposed to have citations. And one tip I can give you, those citations must also be found in your literature section. Because remember, your research problem is not coming from nowhere. It's coming from you having gone through what other people have written. Anyway, let's move on. Research problem is simply the gap between what we currently know and what we need to know. So your job is to find the gap, stand in it, and say, I will bridge this gap. I will do what? I will bridge this gap. But then the question is, how do you find it? Let's look at an African example, the farmer's struggle. The farmer's struggle. Imagine you are researching in agricultural science. We know that fertilizer improves crop yield. I think all of us know that. That is old news. We also know that a new type of drought-resistant maize seed exists. That is also what? Already known. But here is the gap. What we don't know is how smallholder farmers in semi-arid regions of Kenya financially compare the long-term benefit of this expensive new seed versus simply using more of the cheaper fertilizer when faced with unpredictable rainfall. So there is what we know in general, but when we become more specific to a particular place, to a particular population, to a particular region, to a particular industry, you might then realize there is a gap. Okay? See the difference. The problem is not fertilizer. Mjia, thank you so much for the heart me. Much appreciated. God bless you. According to Sefiso, he says a research problem is a gap or challenge that needs investigation. It is what is not known. Beautiful. Love that. Ruta says, you don't know how I'm struggling to stay live watching you. Internet connection is too weak here. I'm so sorry, Ruta. I'm very, very sorry about that. We will try to avail the recording. You have made an effort, and I hope your network will be sustainable. From a master's level, do we need to defend or just for PhD? That's Nolo's question. I think this one I can just quickly answer it, although it's also not part of what we are talking about. Yes, some universities want you to defend at master's level, especially those who are doing masters by full research. Okay, thank you. Okay, so the difference in the example that I gave you, the problem is not fertilizer or seeds. It's a very specific real-world dilemma facing a real community. Your research problem is born from that tension. So what I have seen also is that some students will have what they call a research problem, but the research problem is not very clear. There is this problem, there is this problem, there is this problem. They write different statements which show that there is a problem somewhere, but it's not clear. It's not clear. So I remember a few days ago, one of my precious mentees who is preparing to defend their thesis, their proposal. So they presented, they did a mock defense to me and my colleague. Thank you, Berhanu. Thank you so much for the heart me. Yeah, so they did it. And one of the things that my colleague, who was part of the panel as we were doing the mock defense, actually raised the fact that the research problem is there. There were 4 different points that showed there was a problem. But what my colleague pointed out was, we need another statement which sort of sums up so that we really know what is the real problem here that you are researching. Bonnie says, good evening. This is my happy place. I've found my people. Thank you, doctor, for these live sessions. I'm very glad to hear that, Bonnie. And thank you for being here. God bless you. Nikki says, what do you mean, Doc, by those who do masters by full research? Okay, so I've also done a number of videos on the channel that distinguish the different masters that are there. So you can do a master's by coursework where you write examinations. And then you can also do a master's. I'm actually currently supervising a number of master's students that do full research. So right from the beginning, for you to be accepted in the university, you send in a proposal. Please don't ask me how you will have written it, because by then you don't even have a supervisor. You have to find your way. But some people, of course, they take advantage of services like the service that we offer as a research mentor. They come to me, they say, I want to register for a master's, which is full research. I don't have a supervisor as yet, but they want a proposal. Please guide me. So we don't write for the student, but we guide them, and then they write the proposal, and then they submit it. That's how they get a place, and then they are given a supervisor. I hope that makes sense. So there is a master's by coursework, then there is master's by full research, and then there is a master's by coursework, but the final year you also do a mini dissertation, which means you still do a bit of research, but you are different from those that do full research. Full research is just the research. You start with your proposal. If it is accepted, you write chapter 2. If it is accepted, you write chapter 3, like that. Okay, differentiate it from research gap. Okay, so somebody is saying, let's distinguish between a research gap and a research problem. Who wants to tell us? What do you think? Hi, Coach. Kafi says, hi, Coach. Thanks for other day. I appreciate you. Say, most welcome. Thank you for being there. Eh? God bless you. Cyril says, good afternoon, doctor. If I did master's coursework, will I be allowed to do PhD? Good question. Provided you also did a bit of research, because PhD is research. So you need to demonstrate that you are good at research. So masters by coursework only, depending on the university, they might allow you, but you need to demonstrate that you are good at research. They may allow you, they may not allow you. Universities are different, but another way is if you have done masters by coursework only and there's no research at all, then it can be ideal for you to do what? A doctorate, a DBA or DBL, not necessarily a PhD. It's still a doctoral degree, but it also has coursework, and you will do a bit of research towards the end. Those ones are likely to accept you easily. There are so many questions and comments. Difference between research, I don't know what I clicked. Research gap and research problem. Good afternoon, doctor. If I did masters, okay, that's you've already responded. Hey, Rizik says, wow, doctor, you're making my way out. That's good to hear. Excellent. What is your advice in a situation whereby you had a good proposal, but unfortunately you are unable? Nomadic, unfortunately your question is not full. Can you please finish it off? Please tap the screen and share the live. Tap the screen and share the live. Shamia says, for those who have just joined, we are looking at how to master the research problem. Excellent. Wow. Thank you, Shamia. I really, really appreciate that. How to master the research problem. That's what we are talking about. Thank you so much. Okay, point of correction. I did both coursework and final year dissertation. Okay, great. Okay, good people. Let's continue with the research problem, and then we will come back to the questions. Otherwise, we are not going to be able to finish. Let's break down the mastering process into 3 phases. Phase 1, the birth of the problem. This comes from observation. For you to be able to say, I have seen a research problem, it normally comes through what? Observation. Look around you. So maybe you are here and you are just starting. There are some people that DM me or send me WhatsApp messages. At different levels, it can be undergrad, it can be honors, it can be masters, it can be PhD. They say they don't know where to start. So the starting point for your study is the research problem. That's why we are just starting the year and we are starting with what? With the research problem. And I can assure you, if your research problem is not clear, then you have no study. How do you come up with a research problem? You observe what is happening around you. Look around you. What's not working? Looking around can mean looking around your country. It can mean looking around your workplace. It can mean looking around your region. It can mean, you get my point? Observe what is not working. Think about inefficiencies. Are there any inefficiencies? Why does it take 3 weeks to get a lab result back at your university hospital? Unexplained phenomena is another thing you can look at. Why did that community-based solar mini-grid project fail in one village but thrive in another with similar economics? Unexplained phenomena. This thing succeeded elsewhere, but in this other place, it didn't succeed. There could be a research problem there. Contradictions is another thing you can look at, you can observe. Textbooks say policy X should reduce urban poverty, but in your city, poverty seems to have increased after it was implemented. Why? That's what the experts say. If you do XYZ, this is going to happen. But in your city, it's doing the opposite. What could be the reason? So that's the starting point. That's a suggested starting point of identifying the research problem. It must, your research problem must itch you. It must bother you. If it doesn't keep you up at least one night, it might not be strong enough. I told you of one of our mentees who was presenting a few days ago to me and my other panelists. You could see the passion. You could see that she's, Sipo, thank you so much for that rose. God bless you. You could see her passion. She understands her study. She loves her study. You understand? It shows that she's actually trying to do something to solve a real problem. And that's what we are talking about. Number two, example number two, the tech hustle. The tech hustle. You are in computer science. The first one we talked about agriculture. You are in computer science. You see everyone building fintech apps for Lagos in Nigeria. But you observe that market women in Kumasi who use mobile money still keep detailed paper ledgers. Why? The gap is not build another app. The problem is there is a lack of understanding of the cognitive and trust factors that prevent the full adoption of digital record keeping by informal sector traders in Ghana despite high mobile money penetration. Now, that is a research problem. Those of you who think along the lines of the examples that we are giving, you can already go like, oh, okay, okay? But if it's not your idea and if it doesn't bother you, you are still wondering, and that's perfectly okay because it's not your area. It's not your area. Let's look at phase two, the sharpening. After you have observed, now you need to sharpen. Taking your itchy observation and making it razor sharp. Here is your practical tool, the problem statement sentence. You need what we call the problem statement sentence. Fill this in. The problem is that we do not know, so in brackets, what? The problem is that we do not know. That's the what. About, in brackets, who or where. We do not know. That's the what. About, that's the who or where. In the context of, in brackets, specific situation. Your research problem should tell us the what, then the who or where, and then the specific situation. And understanding this matters because, in brackets, so what? So your research problem starts with the what you don't know, then the who or where, okay? And then the context, which is the specific situation, and of course, the so what. Why does it matter? Why is it necessary for you to do that study? Let's try it with our farmer example. What? The comparative cost-benefit analysis and risk perception. Who or where? Among smallholder farmers in semi-arid Kenya. Tap the screen, share the live. Specific situation. When choosing between investing in drought-resistant seeds versus increased fertilizer use amid climate variability. So what? Because this knowledge can directly inform agricultural subsidy policies and extension advice, potentially increasing food security and farmer resilience. Okay? So you can see that your research problem, if you can be able to tell us the what, the who or where, the specific situation, and the so what, and then you put your citations, your research problem is solid. Let's do one. Let me see what the comments are saying. I can see there are more and more comments. The real Dunisani says, after PhD, what else do I need to become a vice chancellor? Okay. That's quite outside the scope of what we are discussing. But I can just say experience in leadership. It's no longer about going to school again. You can do some leadership courses or something, but as long as you have a PhD, you should be good enough to be a vice chancellor. And publishing papers, of course. No unanswered questions by existing studies. Okay, research problem. Thank you. Payrisk says, I send my research proposal for a comment and subsequently approval if I make it through. Please, you will make it through. We believe. Akon, so there is a difference between doctorate and PhD. Yes, technically there is, but generally speaking, people just call them what? Doctorates. PhD is Doctor of Philosophy, and it's by research. But the doctorate is more professional, and it's by coursework and a bit of research. Doctor, do you charge for topic refining? Yes, I do, my dear. I definitely do, because I have so many people that are looking for help. So if I decide to help them for free, I will actually die, and I will not be able to give a good service. Are there research-based programs in business? Yes, they are there. I dropped out of uni and looking to go back next year. This has been really helpful. Daniel, I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that what we are discussing is giving you hope. Research gap is a niche from existing literature about the topic relating to that problem. Research gap is a niche from existing literature about the topic relating to that problem. So Bright Tyler is answering the question earlier on where somebody wanted sort of a distinction between the problem and the gap. So I hope Bright has helped us there to understand that a research gap is a niche from existing literature. And I have done a series that talks about the research gap. I also have a digital product. If you go into my bio, you will see a link to my website. So I have a research gap checklist. Then I have a research gap guide that teaches you the different kinds of research gaps. And by the way, I also have another guide. The thing here, we want simplicity. Research has always been difficult because even the explanations are always difficult. So we want to simplify it. So when those of you who have gotten access to my guides and my checklist, you will see that they are very, very simple. They are easy to understand. And there are a lot of practical examples and there are a lot of stories so that it resonates with you. So I also have another guide that talks about the research problem. What is a research problem? How do you identify a research problem? All those things, and a lot of stories and testimonies from other students. That's an easier option, actually. If somebody wants help but they can't afford a one-on-one, they can start by getting the guides and the checklists. Just go into my bio and you'll be able to get the link. Technology acceptance model. Judging from the information you are sharing about the research problem, I'm on the right track, Ponzo. That's good to hear. Jompa says, I agree with you, Doctor, that a research problem starts with observation followed by literature review. Beautiful. So those of you who didn't know where to start, that's how you start. What is it that bothers you? What do you see? What's happening? Then now you begin to explore what others have found out. Please, can you read the farmer example again, please? Okay. Let me go back to it quickly. Thank you for that. Because we are using it for the second time. So if somebody missed it, then they won't know what we are talking about. Tap the screen, share the live. So we said the farmer's struggle. Imagine you are researching in agricultural science. We know that fertilizer improves crop yield. And that is old news. We already know if you apply fertilizer, it improves crop yield. We also know that a new type of drought-resistant maize seed exists. That's also known. But here is the gap. What we don't know is how smallholder farmers in semi-arid regions of Kenya financially compare the long-term benefit of this expensive new seed versus simply using more of the cheaper fertilizer when faced with unpredictable rainfall. So see the difference? The problem is not the fertilizer or the seeds. It's a very specific, real-world dilemma facing a real community. Your research problem is born from that tension. Good. Where was I? Where were we? So we spoke about observation, then sharpening. You are now putting it down. You write a problem statement sentence. That's what we said. You use what, who, or where, specific situation, and so what. All right, let's do one. Okay, we have done that. So let's say one of us says public health, childhood malaria in my state. Let's assume one of us says, I think the research problem that I see is public health, childhood malaria in my state. So let's sharpen it. The problem is that we do not know why the adoption rate of insecticide-treated bed nets remains below 40% among caregivers in rural Anambra State, despite high distribution campaigns, and understanding this matters because current strategies are failing to achieve protective coverage, leading to persistently high childhood morbidity. Now you have a problem statement. So it's not just for you to tell us there is a problem. We want you to be able to follow that way which we mentioned earlier. What, who, where, specific situation, and so what. Let's move on to phase 3 of the research problem, the validation. Is this a good problem? Ask yourself 3 questions if you want to see whether it's a good question. Number 1, is it a good problem? Number 1, is it researchable? It's not every problem that is researchable. Thank you for liking the live. I really appreciate that. Thank you for liking the live and for sharing. God bless you. God bless you. Is it researchable? While we are still there, I've been privileged for the past 12 years or so to have supervised to completion over 40 postgraduate students. I'm not including my mentees, my research mentees. I'm just talking about students in a university that I have supervised from beginning to end. There are over 40 of them. So you can imagine what I have come across over the years. One thing I've seen is that this is something you need to be careful. And I've also seen some people asking that question on the channel. They say, Doc, my supervisor is not agreeing with my research topic. You know, the topic is very good. We seem to be so much tied on a topic or the title of your study. That can keep changing. I think some of you, you know it. Those of you who are like one of us who say they are in their final year MBA, and those of us who are about to defend our dissertations or our thesis, you know what I'm talking about. The title that you started with is not the same that you are using right now. So don't be too fussy about the title. Don't be too fussy about the topic. Be fussy about the research problem and the gap that you are filling in. Wow. Wow. True Divine, thank you so much for that gift. Amazing. God bless you. So, you find that we are human beings. Sometimes you have a real problem that you have identified, and you say, you know what, I want to do this. And when your supervisor says, no, don't do this one, why don't you tweak it like this? You're like, no, man, I really want to solve problems in Soshanguve. You see, in Soshanguve, we haven't done a lot of these studies. You see, in Nyanga, Zimbabwe, we have not done a lot of, you see, in Soweto, we haven't. In Eastern Cape, is it researchable? Can you type in the comment section, is it researchable? So sometimes when you see your supervisor not agreeing with you, I'm not saying supervisors are perfect. We are also human beings. Sometimes supervisors are biased because they want you to study a topic which they know will also push their agenda when they are publishing to become a professor. You know, even as professors, there are levels. You can be associate professor, you can be what professor, then you can become full professor. So even the professors themselves, they still want to advance. So sometimes they might push you towards studying something so that it benefits you and it also benefits them. That's how it works anyway. But sometimes your supervisor, from experience, they know that yes, you have identified the research problem, but is it researchable? Is it researchable? So I hope some of you who have been having this question for a long time, you are beginning to understand that to have the research problem alone is not enough. We want validation. Is it researchable? Can you actually investigate this with your tools, your time, and your skills? Can I continue to DBL with my MBA or research problem? Yes. But personally, I don't advise people to continue with the same research problem or same topic from one level to another. The reason why I don't recommend it is not because it can't be done. It can be done. But most people become too relaxed. You become so relaxed. It's the same research problem or research topic that you were doing at MBL, now you're doing it at DBL. You just feel, you are not like other students at DBL. You just feel like, I already know my way. But what you don't realize is MBL and DBL are two different animals. So sometimes it's better to have two different research problems. But the answer is yes, it's possible. With good supervision and a clear understanding that what you are doing is not the same thing. If you are able to up your game, yes, it's possible. How much for one-on-one, doctor? Okay, one-on-one depends on the level. Is it undergrad? Is it honors? Is it masters? Is it doctoral? And then what do you want? What are your needs? I'm able to tell you how much when I know what help do you need. So unfortunately, I won't be able to say this is the price. Obviously, there is a general price, and I wouldn't be very, it's not advisable to say it in public like this. It's always better to, if somebody DMs me or we talk via WhatsApp and I know what you are trying to achieve and all that. I even as a business consultant, I'm a business consultant for over 25 years now. I love to understand my clients. As a professional speaker, when I'm invited to speak in organizations, I don't want to just come and speak. I want to understand who is my audience. What are their pain points? So that matters to me. I use the diagnostic method. So that's the same thing I do, even with research consulting. I would love to have a chat with you, and then we know. Okay, Dicate says is trying to screen record. Okay, great, thank you. Please help me. I missed the difference between problem statement and research gap. It's coming up again. The reason why I'm not very keen on explaining the difference is I want people to go home remembering the research problem. Because the research problem is the most important thing. So if we start mixing with the research gap, although they are linked, I know that some people will get lost in the process. So let's understand the research problem. That's why you heard me saying, I have a digital product specifically on the research problem. Then I have another one specifically on the research gap, which means they are two different things, but they are linked. So according to TikTok is saying, congrats, True Divine lit up head and mustache in Research Mentor Global's gift gallery. True Divine, according to TikTok, we are supposed to be celebrating you, right? Thank you so much. God bless you. First year MBA, Nolo. Okay, great. We are wishing you all the best, name. Okay, guys, is it researchable? Can you actually investigate this with your tools, time, and skills? Let me mention something quickly there. I've seen some students that have a title like the impact of this. The impact. Hey, be careful with the word impact. Sometimes your supervisor will accept it. Sometimes a committee or two will accept it, but later on you will be questioned, maybe even during defense, they say, no, how can you say impact? The word impact should be avoided because impact studies, they take more years and more resources, usually beyond the time that you are in school. So instead of the impact of, you can say the effect or the effects of. I hope that makes sense to you. Is it researchable? Solving corruption. Some of you here, you are bothered by corruption. Even me, I'm bothered by corruption. But the question is that a good research problem? You want to solve corruption? Can you do it in a year, 2, 3? It's not researchable. I know somebody might debate it, but it's not researchable. Analyzing the impact of blockchain technology on transparency in Lagos State procurement processes for construction materials. Well, that one sounds more like it's doable. Analyzing the impact. If I were you, I would then say the effect or the effects of blockchain technology on transparency in Lagos State procurement processes for construction materials. That can be a researchable problem. So that's number one in the validation. Number two, is it original? Have 500 people already done it? Check the literature, but originality can be in the context. Maybe AI for diagnostics is done, but AI for diagnosing sickle cell retinopathy in low resource, high glare clinic settings, maybe that's a new angle. Is it original? And of course, number three, is it relevant? Does it matter? Does it matter to your field and to your community? Does it matter? Okay. This is where we as African researchers have a superpower, our contexts. Health Corps, thank you for the heart me. God bless you. We have a superpower in context. Our context is our contribution. You are not just studying supply chains, you are studying the matatu supply chain during fuel shortages. That relevance is global knowledge. Those from East Africa will know what I'm talking about with matatu. If you don't know matatu, are you an African? I'm joking. The book, thank you so much for the heart me. What is matatu? Anybody from East Africa here? You know, I take my examples from all over Africa, right? The book, thank you for the roses. Wow. 6 roses. God bless you. Is it researchable? I see a lot of people have typed, is it researchable? Which is good. Is it feasible? Doctor, I will be doing my master's this year and I'm afraid since in my honors experience the problems. That's Joseph. Joseph, you experience problems in honors, but in masters, it's gonna be fine. We are here for you. We are a community. Maybe that time you were suffering alone, but now you are not going to suffer alone. Okay. Bonnie says, yes, that's true. My honors lecturer gave the whole class LGBTQ topics. He supervised all of us. So you see, some supervisors will give you the topic and then they support you, you do it. But sometimes also as a student, you just feel like, how can you give me a topic? I want to do my own thing. I mean, you have that right, but then your supervisor, in some cases, they know what works. And what I sometimes tell students is, it's a tricky one. It's painful. You have your own, and then you are told to do something else, But also, you can push your way and still do what you like, and your supervisor doesn't like it, and then you supervise yourself. Or you do a study that your supervisor knows is not researchable because you showed that you know too much. Then in the end, you will also blame the supervisor. It's a tricky one. Doc, I would like to ask, is it possible to use semi-structured interviews alone to collect data? It's possible. It depends on the level of study, especially for honors or for undergrad. For masters, we normally expect something better than that. PhD, the lesson I learned at PhD, even at masters, but masters, you can get away with it. But PhD, when I started my PhD, my methodology was more of qualitative. It was qualitative. But as I continued going to different panels, I saw that there were fights among the panel members. And that fight will always be there. Even in the research conferences, it continues. whereby those who believe in qualitative, they think that quantitative doesn't make sense. And the panelists who believe in quantitative, they think that qualitative is weak. So then, Miss Muji, thank you so much for the roses. God bless you. Thank you so much. God bless you. Much appreciated. 10 roses, 11, 12. Wow, you are amazing. God bless you abundantly. So, as a PhD student, together with my supervisor, we ended up agreeing that, you know what, we better use mixed methods approach so that we satisfy both sides. And from that time, when I adopted mixed methods, it enriched my experience as a student. It was more work, by the way. I don't want to imagine it. It was now more work. Imagine I started with qualitative. Now I'm with mixed methods. I'm now with the quantitative and the qualitative. And I talk of the data analysis. But it is what solved the problem of having different panelists fighting. They'll be fighting among themselves. And then when they fight among themselves, what happens to you as a student? You are affected. Because the qualitative guys will be saying, yeah, this study. But the quantitative guys are saying, can you repeat? What were you saying? Why is it that you are doing a study like this and then there are no, quantitative? It kept on coming up. Mutlatsi, thank you so much. God bless you. It kept on coming up. So that's my personal opinion. You don't have to do what I'm saying, but that's what worked for me. Because I saw that these academics, academics are wonderful people. I'm an academic, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. But I just learned that, I'm sure you have seen one of my videos where I shared my biggest blunder in academia. If you haven't watched it, please watch it. It will teach you one or two things. Mama V says, I will also DM you regarding that. Thank you. That will be great. Kuli, what is your field specialty? Entrepreneurship, business management. That's my area. So when you see me using examples from agriculture, from this, it's because I have sat in different sessions where speakers will speak, and all their examples are from their specialty. And I just feel like it's not fair to imagine every live we do here and every video I do, if I can use examples from entrepreneurship, business management, leadership, change management, around that, then it means everybody else is not part of it. But if you see my guides, you will see, I will say a student is doing masters in education, a student is doing this in ICT, that I'm trying to be inclusive, because I have felt pain sometimes when presenters keep on presenting and they love their area so much that our areas are never mentioned. So like right now, I'm in Pretoria, South Africa, but you can see the examples I'm giving you. I'm talking about Anambra State, Nigeria. I'm talking of Matatu in Kenya. I'm talking of Ghana. I'm talking of Zimbabwe. I'm talking of different places. Then here and there, I talk about South Africa. I'm trying to make sure what we are discussing touches everybody. Unfortunately, sometimes we don't do enough, because we have some people from the UK, as you saw. We have some people from, was it Afghanistan or another place earlier on? So we have other areas. I will need to up my game so that I also have examples that touch outside Africa. You get my point? Yeah. Is there any software I can use to do coding and analysis during my research? Yes, definitely. We have a number of softwares depending on whether you are doing qualitative or quantitative. But by the way, one of the things that we are very sure we are comfortable to do as a research consulting firm is we can easily help someone with data analysis, and we know it's legal and it's ethical. What we don't do, we don't write your proposal, we don't write your thesis, we don't write your work. We guide you. But data analysis is accepted. Madei, thank you so much for the rose. God bless you. So data analysis is accepted. There are times when I sit in research committees and we can actually say, the way the data analysis has been done by this student who has just presented or whose proposal we have just seen is not correct. This student must go and look for an expert to do data analysis for them. So that's acceptable. So yes, coding is possible. You can actually do it by yourself if you can. If you can't, it's allowed to look for experts out there that can do data analysis for you. So it shouldn't even bother you. Jomba says, this is my first session with you, doctor. I would like to know how to teach you or to reach you on WhatsApp. WhatsApp. Skyline Academy, are you here? I would have wanted you to post the WhatsApp link in the comment section. I'm not sure whether my moderator is here. I have seen trauma on UIF beneficiaries. Can it be a research problem? Yeah, it can start off as an idea, but you will then need to apply those stages that I mentioned to you. Okay. I don't think my moderator is here, but let's see, just 1 minute. Research stress to research smiles. I'm not sure which link works there, but it's the same number. So please try any one of those links that I've put there. I hope that's going to help you. Let me pin the comment. Beautiful stuff. Is it relevant? Does it matter to your field? So we said in phase number 3, you validate the research problem. You have written it, but you need to what? To validate it. Is this a good problem? You ask 3 questions. Is it researchable? Is it original? Is it relevant? It may not be relevant. You are not just studying it for the sake of studying it. Can I tell you, when I started lecturing, my first job as a lecturer was to lecture entrepreneurship and business management. But in my heart of hearts, I loved to research on gender-based violence. I loved to research on Christianity. I loved to research on HIV. I loved to research on SMME development. I loved to research on almost anything you can ever think of. But I had to quickly learn that it has to be relevant. I'm a lecturer for entrepreneurship, leadership, business management, change management, stuff like that. So whatever I research on has to be related to that. Ellie is laughing heart over heart. Yes, because I was ignorant. I was new to lecturing. I had been a teacher for 8 years, and I thought teaching and lecturing are not very different, but I later learned that they were different. They were actually different. So now I had to do one thing and make sure what I do is relevant. So there are people that approach me from all over the world. They say, can we do a research project together? My first question is, what's your area of expertise? If I see that there is no way we can let my area connect with their area, then we can't do a research together because it's not relevant to what I do. Also, the research needs to be relevant to the field of your study. If doing MBA, I have to do business. Now you are getting it. Now you are getting it, Nolo. You are doing MBA, it's Masters of Business Administration. So, even if you come up with a topic, let's say, which is agricultural, it has to have some business admin or business management in it. Otherwise, it is irrelevant. Zainab says, same as the area of my research, innovative digital technologies for rural MSEs. Interesting. Very, very good. So, you see, that's how it works. That's how it works. Even publishing a paper or a journal article. So Lulu says, so with social work, I need to collaborate with public health. Maybe not necessarily collaborate, but your topic must be relevant. So this is another way you can do it. My research at MBA level, because I was a private school teacher, so my topic was on motivation of private teachers, private school teachers. You see, it was relevant to what I was doing in the workplace. That's the pain point I had. I wanted to see, because many people had done studies. The gap was that many people had done studies on what motivates teachers in public schools. But there were few studies that were looking at what motivates private school teachers. Because being in a private school and a public school is different. I have taught in public schools, I have taught in private schools, and I can tell you that. Then, when I became a lecturer, because now I had been a consultant helping small, medium, and micro enterprises before I became a lecturer, and now I became a lecturer, and I continued consulting for small, medium, and micro enterprises. And what bothered me was the issue of financing challenges. That became my topic. Must be relevant. Okay. So I think this is where we will end today. I'll just look through a few questions and then we call it a day. But otherwise, to recap, find the each, observe the gap in your world. Number 2, use the sentence. The problem is we don't know what about who, we, and so on and so on. Number 3, validate it. Is it researchable? Is it original? And is it relevant? Your research problem is the study. Without a clear research problem, I'm sorry. Doc, with all the respect, we are moving away from the agenda of the day. That's very true. I'm sorry about that. I think it's because some people come late and then they don't know what we are talking about. We have been talking about the research problem. So I've just summed up what you need to do to make sure you have a good research problem. All right. I know that some of you might be asking, those in the States who will call it a morning. So that's the link to the research problem guide. If you click that, you should be able to access the guide on my website. Ref C, thank you for the rose. God bless you. Can the research problem be similar to the topic? Not necessarily, but they must be related. It doesn't have to be exact, because remember, the research problem, depending on the level you are, it can be 2, 3 pages. True Divine, thank you so much. God bless you. Is it possible for a teacher who has done education at undergrad level and does MBA? I'm not sure I understand this one. It's a little bit off topic though. And become a lecturer for MBA. Done education at undergrad and does MBA. Then you become a lecturer for MBA. Yes, it's possible. Thank you, Prof. I'm committed to the very first step. Research problem, very relevant for me. Beautiful. Thank you, Ellie. Doc, I cannot access the link. Oh, which link, my dear? Is it the link that I've just put now? I pinned it and I'm thinking it should be easy. But also, if you go into my bio, you are going to see a link that takes you to the website, and then you can choose which product you want. The people that have gotten those products, their lives have never been the same. Some of you are so much struggling, especially those of you who are starting. If you were to ask me where to start, either you get the research problem guide, or you get the research gap guide, or you actually start with the FAQ, Masters and PhD. I call it Masters and PhD FAQ, but I believe it's for undergrad and all postgraduate students. But it's written Masters and PhD because it's easier, rather than writing too many things on the name of the guide. So the FAQ, it's supposed to be $20, but it's going for $1. We have extended the special until end of January. You can get it. So if you go into my bio, you click the link to the website, you will be able to see the different guides and what. The FAQ is a good starting point because it answers the frequently asked questions by postgraduate students. Is it safe to say the research gap is situated within a research problem? I would say yes. The breakdown is clear. Thank you. Thank you so much, Shambali. Alexis, the link for the guide. Let me try to put it again. Coach Princess, I see you. Thank you so much for liking the lives. I've put the link again, good people. I've put the link again. Let me see if I can pin it. Okay, good people. Thank you. I want to say goodbye. Enjoy yourselves and God bless you. Cheers. I love you. Bye-bye.